Hi guys! So it's time for another Goddess Sea episode, and the first place we're going to is the Baijnath temple, which is about 50 kilometers from Dharamshala. This is a Lord Shiva temple, 13th century temple. What's unique about this temple is its architecture. Sadly, I can't take you inside because we can't shoot images or video inside, but I will show you guys around. So you can see that it's a really high wall, which is kind of like a fortress. You don't usually see this in temples. So there are two entries to the temple. There's one on the north side and the south side. This is the central courtyard. They have a tiny little temple here, lots of sculptures around the walls as well. What is interesting is also it's very similar to the Jagannath temple at Puri. You can see a lot of stone carvings and things like that, which are quite similar. It's a real pity that we can't take you inside because it is quite a beautiful temple. Usually temples are open, which is why this is different, because it's kind of like a fort. You can see some carvings. This is what you actually see on the inside as well, this kind of work. You can see the dome of the temple from here. So there's a lot of carvings across it. Wow, it is pretty large. So you've got a beautiful view here. You've got the river flowing down here, the mountains up there, and this is a perfect opportunity to take great pictures, because I've been seeing the mountains from everywhere, but they haven't been completely clear like this. And you can see the sun is right on them. It's absolutely spectacular. So definitely visit the temple for the view, for the architecture. It's totally a must visit. So we are outside the Kangra Fort, which was built by the royal Rajput family of Kangra. Let's take a look. So this fort is the largest fort in the Himalayas, and it is probably the oldest dated fort in India. So basically the central wall and the steps are intact, but otherwise it's pretty much in a state of ruins. This is not due to invasions. This suffered hundreds of invasions from Mughal rulers, but it's still standing strong. It was actually due to an earthquake in 1905. So the main stairway, which is the entry points or the gates as they call them in forts, is really beautiful. It's actually really long. You can see it on either side. And you have beautiful archways in the middle like this, or that is a central gate, which is really nice. Wow, look at that. It is still pretty intact. I know the net said that it's in a state of ruins, but there's a lot to see here, and I can only imagine what this fort has been through. It's even mentioned in Alexander's War records. Check out the view from here. So you can actually see the Dhaulada range really well from here. This is a great view of the mountains. And it is quite a walk up, so for people who are not very comfortable with that, I'd suggest not coming here. But yeah, there's a lot of steep slopes and a lot of walking, but it's worth it. I mean, just look at that. So there are different gates with different names. This one is called Andheri Gate, which is really interesting because in Mumbai we actually have a place called Andheri. So It is a really large fort. I mean, there's not much to see other than the main structure, but even that in itself is so beautiful that it's totally worth coming here. So you can only imagine who has walked through these walkways, because it looks and feels so grand even now as you walk through it. I can only imagine what it was like then. Like right now, I feel really cool walking in here. So this one is the Ganga Yamuna gate, which still has some stone carvings intact. Oh, so we've made it to the main central courtyard, I think, but it doesn't end here. There's still steps going further and further and further above. Oh, let's keep going. So as you go higher and higher, the view just gets better and better. Look at that. Wow, so you can see a lot of stone carvings here in the temple area. This kind of looks like the temple carving, and that was probably the central courtyard where they had like important ceremonies and things like that, which is usually the case at forts. Wow. So there are multiple viewing points like this where you will get an amazing view of the range. Wow. There are more steps. And I think we finally made it to the top. This is definitely a must-do when you come to Dharamshala. It's not really that close, it's about an hour's drive, but make sure you come because it is totally worth it. Like if people tell you it's ruins, it's nothing, it is totally worth it. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. See you guys. Bye.